With the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I think first up on the agenda is the minutes and claims of auditor.
I apologize. The minutes for December 7th, 2021 for your approval.
Motion to approve if there's no questions.
Second. All by aye?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Second, you have the claims docket dated December 4th, 2021 through December 10th, 2021, in the amount of $57,068,212.45, plus payroll in the amount of $1,070,366.66, for a total amount of $58,138,579.11.
Only
With-
58 million?
With that, though, I'd like to just state that that really includes the total settlement of pass-through money. And that total settlement of pass-through money is really $56,609,407.95 of that total, which is really just complete pass-through. I know it sounds like a lot, but that's complete pass-through, so.
Couple of dollars.
Yeah, that one. Are you going to inquire
You
about
can
that one?
ask. Yeah. Yeah.
I know you don't have the answer to this. Well, wait a minute, I shouldn't say that. You might. Move over conservation, or
Conservancy?
move over Lake Conservancy. What's move over Lake?
Move Over Lake Conservancy is a conservancy out in O'Reilly area.
She doesn't know. Okay. I've never heard of that before.
Is that the one that they had to rebuild the dam for the? Yeah, 2 years ago.
Singhurst, you said? Okay.
Yeah, it was a strip mine dam. They had to redo it. They formed Conservancy around their lake and tax bases.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
I didn't remember what
Thank
the
you,
name of
Cheryl.
it was.
They have a high tax.
Well, they had an expensive dam to fix. Okay.
Move over Lake.
All right. Well, any other questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes, or the claims for $58,138,579.11.
I'll second that.
All those by aye? Aye. We did that pretty quick. Well, that's a good way to spend $58 million. All
It's a lot of money.
right.
I guess the third agenda item is the resolution for responsible bidder ordinance. I don't know, Jonathan, Brian, if you're just.
Thank you,
Good
Mr.
morning.
Bryan.
John?
I'm John Bryan. I'm a business agent for Ironworkers Local 22 and a delegate with the Wabash Valley Building Trades here in town. What I'm here to speak on is this amendment to the responsible bidder ordinance, the intent of it, why it's been brought up, and any questions there may be with that. Where this come from, what we found out is, the RBO that's already in effect, when it comes to a place to enforce it, we found it difficult to find a body to enforce that ordinance. For example, like when the convention center come through, there was a contractor that was the lowest bid on it, and I talked to Brian Koister from Garmong. He wasn't too familiar with them, and I asked him, I said, do they meet the requirements of the RBO, because it was in the bid specs. He didn't believe so, but he was worried because it was putting him in a spot to where they had to enforce an ordinance and didn't feel that was their responsibility. And if that particular one got kicked off being the lowest bidder, not necessarily the most responsible one, it could have cost them $400,000 because of the difference in the bids. It took a little bit of time. We were able to get that resolved, and they were able to get a contractor on there that did the job correctly. So with that, that's kind of why it come from, looking for a group to enforce it. And to expand on it, with the abatements, when abatements are given out, to be able to have something with that, and this language come from other counties throughout the state that has this, the authority and enforcement in it, to basically say, if someone comes in and they lie to you, you can pull the abatement. You have cause to do so. So it's pretty cut and dry. It comes from other counties throughout the state, and that's where it's come from. So if you have any questions regarding it?
John, thanks for putting this together. I'm familiar with most of it, but you just said something that kind of sparked something. Is there anything unique in this section 9 to us, or is this what you're seeing in these other counties that you mentioned?
The one thing that is unique in it is the abatement clause, an owner with an abatement, because the money to fund the project isn't directly coming from the county, but it's in the form of taxpayer money through an abatement. So that would be the one thing that is slightly unique as opposed to other counties.
Okay.
I believe there are 40 different entities throughout the state, 9 counties, multiple towns, school districts, things that have an RBO in effect.
And this is for property owned by the Vigo County Commissioners and under Vigo County redevelopment.
Correct.
That's a change from the current one that we have is the redevelopment component.
That is
We already
correct.
have one in place now,
Yes.
but it's lacking the enforcement component.
Yeah, when it comes time to enforce the ordinance,
nothing
we
there.
found that there's nowhere to go to.
And we
then-
discovered that that's pretty common in a lot of ordinances that we have. We tell you can't do it, but then that's where it stops.
Sure.
There we go.
So, John, if there's something that you find that you don't like, or the whole group, since the council gives the abatement, you want us to just bring them back in front of the council? Or do you want us to, what direction would we go after we find that?
And that is part of it there. And this has been a work in progress and a learning process for me as well. Between the council and the commissioners, whatever would be the best avenue for that, to be able to do that and lawfully to be able to do that, would be the best way to do it. So, there's things that can be changed on this, if need be, but essentially, because if the county issues it, they would be the one to have to pull it. So, I guess,
Back to the council.
where the commissioners would have to advise that the council pulls that abatement. And even though I'm a delegate with the Wabash Valley Building Trades and a business agent for the ironworkers, this is most certainly not a union, non-union thing. This is just simply wanting to get as many local people to work and as many local businesses the opportunity to work on things. What we do every day is capitalism at its finest. We get paid A for doing B under a fair set of rules. And if we were to support any kind of ordinance or rule or law that would hinder or restrict businesses, we'd be cutting off our own heads. So we want as much business to come in here. We don't want anything to hinder that.
Okay. All right. Last. Okay. I think at this point, Commissioners will take it under advisement.
Okay, excellent.
Thanks, John.
Thank you
for
very
your
much.
time.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I just wanted to say for the records that this was passed the 21st of September 2010. So, 12 years have gone by, so it is good to revisit this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, John,
And
for
I
your
have yet
work.
to see where an example of where the RBO or anything with it hindered any business from expanding or coming to the area. So, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on item 3?
No.
We'll move on to number 4, resolution for Wabash River Heritage Corridor Commission appointment.
Go ahead, talk about it.
Well, this is just a process thing to reappoint me to the Wabash River Heritage Corridor Commission. And fellow commissioners, I would be honored if I could get your approval to stay on for another year. There's each county in the Wabash River area, there's 19 counties that the river flows through, has a representative appointed by the commissioners. The main goal of the Wabash River Heritage Corridor Commission is to take funds that are given to the state through royalties from minerals underneath the Wabash River basin, mainly oil. We redistribute that into the communities. Recently, some money came our way for the Smithsonian exhibit that's going over in West Terre Haute. The Art Spaces project for signage that we have along the courthouse area. But I currently serve as president of the organization and would appreciate being reappointed to the board.
Wasn't there one more appointment too, or was it just you?
I'm sorry, Adam Grossman. It's Adam, are you here? Adam's my backup. But I'm proud to say I've been able to make all the meetings, so I haven't had to rely on Adam to be there.
Was Keith on that? Was this the same commission?
Keith Rubel was on it, Kara Kish. Anybody else you can think of, Adam? It was mainly Kara, because Kara was head of it for a while. Then I filled Kara's spot.
So I'll make a motion to approve Brendan Kearns and Adam Grossman to the Wabash River Heritage Corridor Commission.
I second that. All by aye?
Aye.
Aye. Appreciate it. Brendan, Keith, Adam have all brought back some very good information that relates, when talking about regionalism, a big term right now, and they bring back a lot of good information, just decision-making processes on that river corridor that we can use here, I guess. Help make some intelligent decisions.
Would have been funny to not appoint the president.
Yeah. Thank you for the reappointment.
Well, it's kind of interesting. We've got Commissioner Schweitzer working with the Association of Indiana Counties as our Commissioner Judith Anderson used to do. Very, very strong presence there. Commissioner Kearns, I guess I better get off my butt and do something, huh?
We'll find something for you.
Okay, I think the fifth action item is the animal control ordinance, and I believe these were revisions as it relates to allowing goats and chickens and sheep, amendments and rabbits, I guess, that were requested by the commissioners that were provided. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look at that, or if there's amendments that you guys would like to see added or revisions, but
I studied it over the weekend a little bit, and it seems to be on. I defer to Commissioner Kearns. Some of these things were some constituency he was working with.
Evelyn, do you have anything that you want to share? Because your situation is kind of what got this in motion.
I read your draft, and I think they made one point in there, because at first it had stated an acre, and I said, like, a lot of people don't have a full acre. Like, I have 5 lots, but each section is not an acre, so it would, defined the amount like 5 or half an acre, moved up to an acre, and I think that all seems fair.
and I guess I would point out that it does indicate that every portion of an acre will be rounded up to the nearest whole acre.
Yeah, that's why, I
So-
don't think that was there originally, and
Okay,
I
and that's what I
appreciate that
thought.
you moved that up to make it a little easier for people. I don't know anybody's gonna be out there with a tape measure saying, oh, you're 2 feet short, but I appreciate that you did that.
I think while developing this, a lot of people were involved. We just want to employ a common sense approach while having guidelines to work with. Every situation is going to be different. A big reason, not to dwell on your personal deal, but you were cited, it went through the process, and your animals went away. That was an eye-opener that maybe the ordinance as it was written is probably not where it needs to be. Then we started looking at the amount of people in 4-H. There's an exclusion we have, or an exception to the ordinance with people with 4-H animals, but, people want to have rabbits. They want to have a few chickens. My mother-in-law, she has chickens, and they eat their eggs. And they possibly may currently be in violation. But there's nobody around them. They're not harming anything, and you wouldn't know that those chickens are there unless you walked basically right on top of them underneath the fern tree. So, it's the right thing to do as we look to improve our community and make it a happier place to be. why not? But if this is a situation, or if there is a situation where it does cause harm or angst or consternation with an adjoining neighbor, then we'll work through this to make sure that the neighbors have it figured out. Terry's done a great job in our building inspection department, and Steve and Keith. They're reasonable people while enforcing the ordinances that we have in place. So I just appreciate us getting to this part. It's a simple ordinance. There's not much legalese there. It basically says if you want to have rabbits, here's how many you can have. If you want to have goats. I was going to wear a Santa suit today and make a reindeer joke, but I didn't. It would have been funny though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Or nuts, one of the two.
But, and my nephew was also impacted because he had chickens. And the
Right.
only difference in his chickens and the neighbor's chickens were that theirs was behind a privacy fence. They had just as many chickens. I mean, he didn't have like 1,000 chickens. He wasn't running a chicken ranch there in Shepherdsville. But I don't know. I don't know if it was obviously it was personal, if it's me and my nephew both. And nobody else got cited, but I don't know what the deal was. But I do appreciate that you made the effort to do that, and hopefully we can get the goats back and get things sort of back to normal.
You mentioned the complaints. This job, it is a tough job, and all of us have tough jobs. But one of my biggest frustrations, and I think Mike and Chris share the same thing, we get in the way of so many neighbor issues. And, neighbors don't talk to each other anymore. They do it through us.
Yeah.
And it just exacerbates the issue. So this does help with that. It gives us more teeth to work with and maybe help make people more neighborly. We do have a rooster clause in here. That's something that's pretty common.
Yeah, I think that's in the city clause also.
Yeah.
And,
So that's, roosters, bad idea. So this covers goats, chickens, sheep, and rabbits. And if we need to modify it down the road, we can. I know alpacas are kind of a thing.
I think alpacas are considered exotic animals, so they're sort of in their own category.
Okay. But thank you for bringing it forward and coming to the meetings and sharing your concerns and your personal story.
And I appreciate that you guys did act on it and, work to try to resolve that, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks, Evelyn. I'm good on my thoughts.
Go ahead and make a motion to approve the amendment to Chapter 49 of the Animal Control Ordinance.
Second?
All by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thanks, guys.
A lot of work.
I think we also have a agenda item for an interlocal cooperation agreement with the town of Seeleyville, which essentially allows,
Do you want to do that today?
I don't.
which allows, I guess, the ordinances to be
Condemnation of a
enforced
house is
throughout
what you mean?
Seeleyville as well, throughout the county.
Yeah, so how this came about, Terry, our building inspection department, responded to a concern from Seeleyville Town Marshal about a dilapidated home, unsafe structure, attractive nuisance place, and they went and cited it. Did you put a tag on it, Terry? Then we realized that we don't have the authority to do that. Towns historically took care of their own issues, but as things have changed, the county has moved in to help provide support. We do this in Riley, the town of Riley, where we provide the enforcement of ordinances, county ordinances. What this does, it's a document that says we will support the town of Seeleyville as needed. We can provide enforcement as needed, as requested. If this passes today, I'll present it to the town board this evening. The town board, if they want us to do this, then they'll approve theirs and move forward. And then until they figure out ways to handle it themselves, we'll continue to be their partner. So that's basically the layman's overview. Does that sound accurate to both of our counselors at the end?
As I said, it seems an appropriate depiction of the.
Sure. So it's the same thing that we did with Riley recently.
So what towns do we have left that we don't have one? West Terre Haute?
Yeah, but West Terre Haute's probably going to continue. Well, I don't know. Maybe they want us to do this too.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, Terry, you want to do West Terre Haute also?
Well,
Might as well. You know, if you look at the towns or villages or whatever we would like to call them, they simply don't have the infrastructure anymore. They can't do it.
That's correct.
So it's, we can right now, and thanks to a council that helps us fund what we need to provide services in the county, I think things are working well.
So this is just for building inspection, it's not for anything else?
Building inspection,
If you want to wait, we can wait.
It is all county ordinances. So, I mean, in theory, if they requested it, it could be for, just grass or what have you, but it's for basically them assenting to the county's ordinances on being enforced in their town jurisdiction.
it gives us the authority to enforce the ordinances there.
That's correct.
Would there be a problem with waiting to do this until after you talk to them?
No, because it's one signs or the other. So they can decide tonight, they want this, but they could vote against it, and then we just simply just toss this. But it's,
Yeah, it requires both parties to consent to the agreement, but it does
They're
not
requesting.
matter who does it first.
they want this. You know, we've done a lot of things, the highway department. Larry, I think you're in here. Did I see you? Yeah. We've helped Seeleyville out on several things. We actually split a road on paving where we covered that. So it's just, again, it's a sign of the times. We've got the resources, we can help.
So you get it, go to the meeting tonight and get it and present it. We're not planning on meeting till January.
Right.
Think it'll be all right?
Yeah, if they pass it tonight, then Terry's condemnation can move forward. Until then, it can't.
Okay.
Which just gets him a month or two ahead in the process. But Terry, driving through there, you're going to have several structures to cite, aren't you?
We hear complaints all the time from Seeleyville.
Right.
Then we always get to the argument of, can we, can't we?
And right now we can't.
Well, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the interlocal agreement, if you guys want to do it.
Yeah, a second.
Okay. All right. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Get her cleared up tonight. Okay.
Right, I think the sixth action item, or I guess it's just comment from the commissioners or other elected officials.
I'll go. So the commissioners are going to meet Friday morning at 9 o'clock, and Larry Robbins is going to tell you why.
Morning, Larry Robbins, View County Engineer. In our review, so the GIS department was tasked with reviewing some of the maps and things. Anytime we have a new census information, we need to make sure that the boundary lines and everything are correct. So in that review, the GIS department reviewed them according to IC 36-2-3-4. If there happens to be a conflict between the map showing the boundaries for the commissioners and the council districts and the legal description of those boundaries, the legal description takes precedence. In that review, we found some errors in the legal description that do not follow the precinct lines, and they have to follow the precinct lines by state statute. So the map does follow precinct lines, the legal description does not. So according to this, the legal description takes precedence, so we want to make sure that that's correct. So we are going to make those changes. They're going to be prepared. We could not have them ready for today, so that's why we're going to ask to meet on Friday at 9 o'clock, I assume, in this room.
Okay.
And there are no other changes being requested or acted upon, that, to my knowledge, and everything will be the exact same that it has been for the last 10 years. We just want to make sure that everything is correct.
Thanks, Larry.
No problem.
This is something we've been working on. It's been kind of a hurried up project, you might say, because census numbers being delayed this year, getting out, and we've reviewed it several times. this is one of the things that we found that we could correct and get it corrected fairly easily. And so this change we'll make and comply with the statute.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, I see, yeah, okay. So we'll meet in our chambers, yeah. Yeah, CASA had this one. Guys, they swept it up for you. You should have seen this room the other day. It looked like a garment factory. There was material all over the floor and scissors going and stacks of blankets being made for, it was, yeah. Vacuum cleaner goes a long way.
Do you want to address the resolution next?
Yeah, that's fine.
So one more item that we have, that I have for you this morning, resolution 2021-16. Karen gave me those numbers, so hopefully that's right. The NDOT is moving towards what they call a DocuSign. It's all electronic signature now. So they would prefer to have one signature for everything, every document that we sign, which, as you know, is any agreement that we have with NDOT or any federal money we use in any of our projects require the approval of the commissioners. And then NDOT is moving towards this one signature. So we have one signature per LPA, which is local public agency. So they want the county to have one designee, one signing designee. So, in talking to the commissioners and legal, it makes sense to make the president of the Board of Commissioners that one signing. I'll bring everything to the commissioners, to the board, just like we do everything else. It's just all three of you won't sign it, the president will sign it. And whoever the president will be at that time will be that designated signer. That way we don't have to change it for anything at that point. So that will just require whoever the president of the board is in any given year to be that one designated signer.
And you did try to figure out a way for all three of us to sign, didn't you?
Right.
And
if we do it,
just wasn't working.
Yeah, what they'd have to do is they'd have to send it to one of you, and then it would go back, and then they would send it to the other, and then it would get signed, and then it would go to the other, and then it would add layers of approval that really I don't think we would really require on any of our contracts. I mean, I actually need to start right now because I have a current contract that NDOT's wanting me to get signed. That would be something I need to get pushed through.
But we'll all have a chance to review the contract before we move
Correct.
forward.
Certainly.
Correct.
I have one very important question.
Sure.
Will the color on the document signature be blue?
I don't know what color it'll be. They always
Several
require.
of you got that one,
yeah.
didn't you?
They always require blue. I do not.
That's
so I'm assuming it'll be whatever color they want it to.
So you want us to approve the resolution today?
Yes, if you don't mind.
Make a motion to approve resolution number 2021-16.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor by aye.
Aye.
Passes.
And I guess maybe we need to clarify. I guess the one signature I need for currently before the end of the year, I guess since you brought that up, is the community crossings award that we have this year. We have to sign that interlocal agreement for that community crossings award. So that would be the contract. I need that DocuSign signature for this year. It's standard contract. I mean, we've seen these in the past. We did one early in this year in April. This is just for our fall award of $215,000.
We can do that Friday.
Do it Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bring it.
That way we have a chance to, we all support it anyway, but.
Yep.
But does that require just the one signature on
That
that?
will require the one signature, but I'll bring the agreement. It'll have, the roads on there and everything.
But it will still require a vote.
Yep.
I mean, it will,
Yeah.
even though it's one signature, it still has to come before the full board
Right.
for an affirmative vote, and then the president has the authority to sign it once it's got an affirmative vote.
Correct.
And we can do that Friday, if you're comfortable with that.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Any other comment from the commissioners or other elected officials?
I got notification that the Ready grants that we've been working on for months. Oh, sorry, Ricky.
I'm Vicki Wager, County Councilman, 3rd District. I had a number of phone calls last night from employees, county employees who had comments through their offices yesterday. They're concerned about the future of the wellness clinic. If you could just give them some information so they'll know what to expect. I told them I'd see if I could find out. It's about all I know.
We have had zero communication of closing that clinic.
Okay,
None. We don't even know where that came from.
so as far as you know, everything is the wellness clinic as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as I shared with you in our text exchange late last night, I talked to Bridget, the person that made the post on social media, that she had heard rumors that it's being closed. And I know she communicated with her people that had similar concerns. So it's just another example of people not knowing where to go to get the answer. So they go to social media, and then it just spreads and creates angst, but which is, I know, shocking to everybody in here. Yeah. So we've been constantly looking at how we can provide the best health care for our employees, and scrutiny over the current process is something that we do.
Yeah.
Monthly we analyze how much we're spending, what our utilization is, whether our cost per visit ratio is where it needs to be, and in full transparency, every meeting we've had, the answer is no, it hasn't. And so we've been looking at options on how we can make access for our employees better. One of the greatest things that we've done since we've been together is provided free mental health care via our telemedicine program. Absolutely no out-of-pocket, and there has been utilization of that. But that's just a unique and innovative thing that we've done. As far as this clinic goes, we don't run it. We contract with somebody. We have looked at other entities to see if they could provide better services, and we've had probably 4 or 5 discussions with vendors about that, and right now we're staying with the way it is. Now it's up to that contractor whether they make their own changes. I understand there was a personnel change last week, which is probably what stimulated this discussion and rumors, but that's not us. We have nothing to do with that. That's a company out of Greenville, South Carolina.
Is there an end on the contract or anything like that?
So we're entertaining signing a 1-year contract right now. That is a contract that we've been working on to benefit both of us, the county and Proactive, the provider. We're doing an internal audit. We both are. We've done our internal audit. They're doing their own based off lives that are on the program. We pay a monthly rate based off of a certain number provided by Human Resources. Kara, are you in here? There you are. And the numbers that we provide and the numbers that they're billing us for are different. So until that's resolved, I don't think any of us are comfortable with signing a contract. And the amount of money is significant. We're talking a range from $5,000 to $10,000 a month in costs that we probably shouldn't be incurring. So, and I shared all this with Bridget yesterday, but I guess I'm sharing this with everybody now, which is fine. But that's one of the things that we're working through is billing. Anybody in here that's gone to a doctor knows that medical billing's a challenge. This shouldn't be a challenge because we basically pay them for the services. There is no billing that comes to us with the exception of pharmaceuticals. But it's about a $500,000 operation. But, it's a good investment. So having a wellness clinic here is a good investment. But there's creative things that we're looking at too, where if, and I'm not saying this is happening, if that model would go away, I'm confident that we will be able to provide as good, if not better, services through an alternative program that I don't want to share now because it's still something that we're looking at. With that said, that program does not eliminate
the current clinic as we have it.
Okay, I think that's what employees would want to know. I think that's adequate.
Yeah, yeah. And you look at, the main thing, the main advantage that I hear about this clinic operation is that employees can go there and get certain medications without any out-of-pocket cost.
Okay.
We've done the math, we've researched this. We can extend that out of this building. We can work with a particular pharmacy or pharmacies to offer that same benefit. We are 100% self-insured on medical bills up to $100,000. So if I have a heart attack, we all know heart attacks cost $250,000 plus in Vigo County. Vigo County is, from what our data has shown, the most expensive county in the state of Indiana when it comes to health care, which I can tell by the reaction of a lot of people that's kind of a shocker. We pay for an insurance policy that when that heart attack case, when that care hits the $100,000 mark, insurance takes over. So up to that $100,000, Vigo County writes a check for that bill. Not for every single one, but a monthly invoice from our third-party administrator, which is Sycamore Insurance or USI? UMR. So, with the council's stewardship, when I was on it, I see Aaron in the back. I remember Aaron and I, Councilman Loudermilk and I, had a discussion with probably, I think, Mike Morris about why there's so much money sitting in that account. I think it was $12 million maybe at the time. But that money is sitting there because that's what we use to pay our medical bills out of. And that $100,000 catastrophic policy is what helps keep that down. So it's good, the fact that we actually have 12, I think maybe it's $14 million now in that account for medical bills. That money covers the clinic. That covers innovative things that we do, so.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. That's reassuring.
Okay.
Well, it's tough right now, Vicki, with the changes in insurance. We know that there's maybe some hospital consolidation going on within the community. Some things like this. These targets keep changing but one thing I would say that these commissioners err on the side of care to the employees. So that's primary.
And employees' out-of-pocket premiums have not gone up since I've been here, so that's 5 years. Does that sound right to you guys? Since when? So since 2005, we have not had a premium increase for any employees. That is absolutely unheard of. And when you look at raises, which, well, of course, we're looking at that now, that's a huge benefit. If you realize it's a benefit when you use it. If you don't use it, if you don't have medical bills, it's not a benefit to you. But with us being self-insured and we're taking care of our coworkers and our peers, it's a big deal. And the fact that we've been able to maintain that is phenomenal. So I wish there were a Facebook post about that.
And we have plenty of job openings. So come on down.
And the amount we escrow is advised through an actuary. We
Right.
don't pick a number. We're advised to keep that much money.
All right, guess we'll move on to the seventh, comments from the public. Any comments for good of the
I want
order?
to make a comment.
We were trying to cut you off.
I know. Well, Vicki cut me off. I didn't look up. Sorry, Vicki. No, we're finishing up the year. There's a lot of things closing out. Hectic. People taking their days off at the county and things like that, and many things they've earned. It's been a good year, I think. I guess, in all the things that we've moved on, I would say that probably the council's consideration of a nice pay increase was a big event in the year. So I look forward to next year. We started planning for things. It never stops, as you know, in your life. It never stops. We started planning for next year for different things. So the auditor office can wrap the books off, come up with a big zero at the end of the year, and we'll start again.
I'll share some sentiments to the end of the year. There's, the political divisiveness out there is unreal. We all know that. I'm not a partisan person. I like just moving things forward with good people by my side or in front of me. We've had some, not challenges by any means, but Mike, Chris, and I overall have worked really well this year. I think when we looked at just, paving, for example, sitting down, figuring out what's right. We knocked out 60-something miles, Larry, again, close to it. And, we just did it. So the three of us have worked well. I appreciate how things have gone. And so I just like to share that, we are working in everybody's best interest. There are challenging times, but we get through those. And move forward. So it's been good, and I think we're making a lot of progress county-wide with all the county offices. So it feels good.
Thinking about going to go get a tissue.
What's that?
I'm thinking about going to go get a tissue.
You want a hug?
No. I'm going to talk about what Mike said earlier before Vicky got up. The Ready Grants are getting awarded today at 4 o'clock, and we can live stream that, and I think we're going to. One thing to note is Governor Holcomb kind of dug into the pot a little bit more and is allocating more money because the asks were so big. So Vigo County was supposed to ask for $50 million. We asked for $73 million worth of projects to get completed over the next several years. So I think regional, yeah. I think that's a positive sign for Vigo County and all the other, or for all the regions throughout the state that we're potentially going to get that money and maybe more. So we look forward to seeing that award at 4 o'clock today.
Any other comments from anyone else for the good of the order? Public comment? Entertain a motion.
Recess.
Or recess.
Stand in
Recess till Friday.
Yeah, this is the last
Till Friday.
in-chambers meeting until the end of the year, or beginning of the year, right?
There's always a recess.
Yep.
Except for Friday.
Yeah, Friday we gotta come back.
Chris, I was expecting a sappy speech.